Juvenile Sasquatch Handprint. Continuation of my Bigfoot Diary Part 22. This is Snow White, and this is a continuation of my Bigfoot Diary Part 22. I'm going to pick up again on March 30th, 2017 for those who might not have viewed the first part of this diary entry. If you are new to my channel, I would recommend going back over my diary videos to get the full picture of what's been going on since October 30th, 2015. There's a lot of backstory that goes along with this video. March 30th, 2017. Today was an awesome day. This morning when I was going to walk out onto the porch, before I opened the door, I saw that they had brought back another one of my husband's tools. We think that they took it last Saturday after my husband was working on our son's truck. He said that he'd been using that particular tool when he was working on it. So we're wondering if they saw him using it and became interested in that tool. It's a ratchet, which makes a cool sound when you use it. He left the garage open pretty much all that afternoon, even when he came back in the house. From past experience, we have learned that when the garage is left open, they will go in there and take tools. So my husband realized last Saturday that he had left the garage open. He opened the door from the house that goes into the garage and pressed the button that opens and closes the big garage door without him entering the garage. It closed, but he didn't check the door that goes from the garage out to the back porch. It must have been unlocked, and he forgot to go out and lock it. Today when I saw the ratchet, which they had returned by putting it on the grill, which must be a new favorite return spot, I went out to take some pictures with my phone and then decided to go in and get my good camera to take some more. As I reached the back door, I noticed what looked like a little handprint on the inside of the glass. I took pictures and sure enough, it was a handprint. The print is smaller than my hand and doesn't match up to my hand. There have been no children or anyone at our house with that small of a hand. This handprint is not mine, so I believe it is from a juvenile Sasquatch. I'm writing this on April 2nd. Today, when I was taking more photographs of the print, I looked around for more and found a possible one on the actual big garage door window. It looks like a partial palm print that shows the thumb area. So this is what I'm wondering may have happened last Saturday, the 25th. A little juvenile snuck up into the garage to take that interesting tool and was in there when my husband quickly closed the garage door. It could have ducked behind the car when it heard my husband coming. Then, after Jim closed the garage door, it was stuck in there. So it possibly went over to the big door, which it probably entered through, and put its hand on the window, discovering that it couldn't get out. Then it proceeded to the back door, which was open, thank God. It put its left hand on the window to push as it turned the doorknob with its right hand. That is my theory on what happened and how the handprint ended up on the inside of my garage door window. What I don't understand, though, is how I didn't see the print for 5 days. Unless my theory is wrong and they got in the garage between then and today. First, I will show you the pictures of the ratchet that they brought back and the first shots of the handprint that I took with my phone, followed by video that I shot of it on March 30th. This is the ratchet that they brought back, and they put it on the side of the grill nearest the door instead of the side near the yard. And now you'll start to see the handprint become visible on the window. And this is my hand beside it for size comparison, and you can see my hand is larger than the print. Okay, there is a little handprint on the inside of my door going out to the porch from the garage. It is smaller than my hand. My hand is small. I'm a small woman. It's a little bit smaller than my hand. I can't focus on both things. But anyways, it's smaller than my hand, just a little bit, so it's a juvenile. And I tried to make my prints on the glass beside it over here. And to leave just a little bit of a print, but it's very, like barely visible. So it seems like these Sasquatch have really thick oils or something on their hands that they leave beautiful prints. I was thinking back on the fingerprints left on the paper that was out on the porch back in March of 2016. They also left thick, dirty-looking prints at that time. This is the tablet that I'd left out, and these are some of the prints that were left on it. And this was the best print. It shows the dermal ridges and everything. So it measured from the top of the fingers to the bottom of the hand 5 inches, and from the side of the hand to the thumb also 5 inches to the tip of the thumb. Okay, the thumb is there. And shoot, let's see. It's really hard to pick it up through this glass. The thumb is there. The side of the hand is there. And then the fingers, the 4 fingers are there. It is a beautiful little print. And it's cute. So little. Try to zoom in on some of this for you to see. I took good pictures with my good camera. This is for detail, because this is not going to pick up detail. Okay. There the whole thing is. I hope that picked it up good. Bottom of the hand and the thumb, the side, and the fingers at the top. I'm shooting this at night so I can get a better visual of it with the dark background behind it. And the light from the garage is hitting it. That is awesome. Now let's look at the pictures for details. We'll start with the whole hand. So this was to show the ratchet behind the handprint, and now I started focusing on the actual print. So you'll start to see more detail now. It is a left handprint. So the thumb is at the bottom right. This is with the measure in front of it. And then I did pictures at night, which showed the handprint up very well. I was very happy about that. So you can see a lot of detail there. And so we'll start looking closer. We'll look at the three fingers together, the ring finger, middle finger, and the pointer. This circle shows those three fingers. Okay, now that's the ring finger on the left, then the middle finger and the pointer at the bottom right. Now you'll really start to see some detail. Okay, we'll start with the pointer, get real close. And you can see dermal ridges at the bottom, and then look at this detail. This is what I'm talking about, that they leave some kind of thick residue as a fingerprint. And then look at these patterns in there. It's interesting. Okay, now onto the middle finger. Now these pictures, these first ones will look elongated because I was under the window shooting up. So that's why they look kind of long. These ones were shot straight on. So now look at the crystals. I wish I knew what that is, but I don't. So I'm not going to make guesses, but I think their fingers have some sort of thick oils. And as we go along, you'll see why I think that. Very interesting. Took these at night, and my flash illuminated them in a way that they look transparent. Great detail on the dermal ridges of the middle finger there. Now the ring finger. This is the one that blew me away. The detail in this fingerprint is unreal. This is what made me think it looks like they have some sort of padding on the end of their finger. And then it goes up into that tip that looks like some kind of extension. Notice that those look like some kind of crystals or something. I don't know. It wasn't cold out, so that's not ice. Anyways, the padding connects and it goes up into the tip, which humans don't have that. And look at that detail. Now notice that the dermal ridges go either behind that padding or stop where it starts, I'm guessing. This is the detail in these next few pictures that just amazed me. Couldn't believe what I was seeing when I looked at these pictures. These next few, it's like, wow. These ones were shot at night. That's why they look different. I was using a flash. I like the detail of this swirl pattern in these ones. And this starts to show, it looks like a possible scar that runs through the fingerprint. These are amazing. And now we'll move on to the pinky. And you can see it there really well. 3 sections. And this is the top. And notice that there is that tip that looks like there's an extension on it too. And this is the bottom section of the pinky. And now the thumb. I believe that line is part of the thumb, the part that connects it to the palm. This is really good detail in the pictures of the thumb here. Now at the top there, it almost looks like hairs. This is the bottom, and I'm not sure about that. It's very interesting. But at the top, those look like hairs to me. I don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like. This is that line that connects the thumb to the palm. It's the far left side. And again, that's the left side. This is the far right side, very magnified. This detail is awesome. It shows how thick the oils must be on their hands, and great detail. Now we'll go to the palm area, bottom of the hand. This would be the bottom left part of the palm. This shows some of that thick-looking residue, and it looks like there might be a hair in it. Now we move on to the crease in the middle of the hand. I believe this is where your hand folds, and I don't know what these streaks that go up out of it are. I don't know if it's hair. I have no idea what that is. Super interesting though. Now the side of the palm. We're actually going to move, look at the detail towards the top of this section. To the right, you'll see lines that I think look like some sort of dermal ridges. And then next we're going to look at that center of it. The detail here blows me away too. I don't know what those lines are exactly. I guess it's just part of their palm. And there's a swirl where the palm and the thumb meet. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to show it here. I have no idea. This is the same thing. It was just shot during the day. And this is a close-up look at it. This next thing, I don't know what this is, but it's the line that goes from the crease in the middle of the hand up towards the pointer or middle finger. Now I want to mention here that during this time I received a friend request from Jake Hawks, a fellow researcher and author from New Mexico. He has a book titled The Adventures of Jake Hawks, The Bigfoot Saga. Before I accepted the request, I looked down through his timeline like I always do. As I scrolled down, I came upon one of his research photos. It was a photo of an adult Sasquatch handprint that he found on his grill. I was completely blown away at what I was looking at because of the similarities that I was seeing with my juvenile print. What really made me take notice was that his print also had the strange looking fingertips, the ones that look like some sort of extension or something. Now here's his photo. Take notice especially of the middle finger and the ring finger. His handprint is a right hand. Looks so much like mine. It just blew me away. Now, I really feel that this could be very significant. I think that it is possible that their hands are made different, especially the fingertips. It's almost like they have some sort of padding on the tips of their fingers or something. In my photos, you'll notice that the swirls of the fingerprint end and that the thick-looking crystal-like substance is there and then goes out into those extensions of the fingertip. I wanted to get my print lifted, but unfortunately that didn't happen. As time went by, the print changed, especially the fingertips that were so thick looking with the crystals. Now remember, it was not cold out, so that wasn't ice. But as the days passed, the tips began to dissolve. droplets of what I can only assume were oil formed. The next time that I took pictures and videos was on April 2nd. Here are those. This is Sunday, April 2nd. The handprint is fading a little bit, but it's still there. Still trying to get it lifted. There are, I think it's the oils forming into like little drops around the prints. I can't get it on here very good, but I got photographs of it. It's still there. Okay, the whole hand. You can see how small it is. And you'll start to be able to see those droplets. Now the three fingers together, which would be the pointer, middle finger, and the ring finger, is what's coming up next. You'll start to see more detail now of the way that it kind of formed those droplets and started to dissolve or something. Okay, again we'll start with the pointer. Look at that. What was once the crystals now is oil. The middle finger, you can see the same with it, and that's that tip. It's very obvious there. It's fascinating. And we'll move on to the ring finger. That's the very, very tip, the end. And this shows a lot of detail of these oils. It's not so oily though down in the actual swirl. This is interesting detail. These spots up in that tip, I don't know what those are, but they seem to be forming droplets too. It's in the center of the ring finger. This is a close-up look at those spots in the tip. And I see what looks like dirt mixed in. I don't know if that was from the window or if it's part of the fingerprint. Kind of looks like it's part of the fingerprint, but I'm not sure. I love the detail of those dermal ridges there. You can see that scar still, even though it's fading a little bit. That big droplet, it's just crazy. And now the pinky. You'll see that on that tip, it's like the extension part. It also um, looks like it's turning to oil droplets too. Not so much down in the bottom sections of the pinky, but where it meets up with the tip, uh, there's oil droplets, more of them there. There's a real good close-up of the tip. And this one too is really good. Now the, excuse me, the palm area. I don't see as big of changes down here. This detail, I really thought this was pretty awesome. That big section of white stuff in the middle of those dermal ridges. And this too, it looks like the same stuff. And onto the crease in the middle of the hand. It didn't have quite as much change either, but I think it did show a little bit of forming the oils, just a little bit, as you'll see when you look closer. I also found next to the handprint to its left what looks like a large print of some kind. I don't know for sure what it is from, but I'm going to show it here in case it's connected to the handprint. I don't know if it might be its inner arm or what, but here it is. I don't know that your inner arm has, well, of course they're Sasquatch. I don't know what this is. But I see like, you know, some pattern of like dermal ridges or something, so it's interesting. Now this is also when I found the possible partial handprint on the big garage door. Like I said, I'm not sure what this is or who or what made it, but I'm going to show it in case it's linked with the handprint on the door. Like I said, I just found another one. See, there's the toolbox that they like to get into. Over here is where I found that other print, partial print. Right there. It's really hard to pick it up through glass. Turn it. There. Dang it. Back out a little bit. Just doesn't want to focus, but anyways, it's over there. There's the toolbox. The tool that they just brought back was this one right here. They've had this one and brought it back. They just brought this huge one back. They've been in this drawer and taken a lot of, like a handful of wrenches, because they kept bringing them back and bringing them back. They've had this, was it this one? This one or one like it. Let's see, there's a couple of them. They sure do like tools now. So this is what I think is a potential partial handprint on the big garage door window. See, there's lines in the section of what would be the thumb connecting to the palm, and this is the line that extends out into the palm. I mean, if that's what it is. Six days passed by. On April 8th, I was very upset to find that at some point since the day before, that a smear appeared directly through the center of the two best prints, the ring finger and the middle finger. I honestly don't think that it was Jim or I that did this, because Jim hadn't even been using that door, and I was being very careful, and the smear looked purposeful. I can't say this for sure, but I have my suspicions that the Bigfoot had been watching me pay so much attention to this print that they may have, either on purpose, with intent, smeared through it, or found an opportunity to enter the garage again and did it out of curiosity or something. I would say that it might have been an accident on their part, but it just seems like it was done on purpose. Another reason that I think it must have been them is that the smear seemed to have left new thick residue behind. The other prints were dissolving, and this seems to be more residue. I'm not sure because I'm no fingerprint expert, but that is my guess. Now here are the pictures of the smear. You can see they just goes right through the two best prints. And it's not like, oh, whoops, my hand hit the door and, went through the whole handprint or anything like that. No, it is directly through those two prints. And you can see that it's left behind more of that residue where it's got the crystals and everything. So that's what's making me think it's new residue. I also noticed a smear at the top. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, through the top of the ring finger. This detail's pretty awesome too. And I love that one. That's different looking. Now this is the other smear I was talking about. On the left picture is from the 2nd, the right is the 8th. Now when I edited these pictures, that's when I noticed the additional smear on the tip of the ring finger there. You'll see it wasn't there on the 2nd. Now on April 23rd, I actually found another handprint in the dust on a dresser that's sitting in the garage. After I knew that they'd been in the garage because we had accidentally left the big garage door open after we got groceries. A few hours later, we realized what we had done and noticed that some of Jim's tools were moved around. I made a video of it and took pictures, and that will be coming up in next month's diary video for April 2017. Thank you so much for watching.